So we've arrived, we're ready to pick up our next athlete. Driver, let's get the doors open and see who's here. Welcome, Milos Raonic, guys.
How's it going?
How's it going? Nice to see you. Milos, thanks for joining us.
It's good to be here.
Let's talk a little bit about 2018. It's a new season, new start. How's your preparation going?
Yeah, it's been good. It's good after last year being a tough year to get things going again. A new season, a new way, new goals, new things I want to focus on. Sort of put everything from the past few months behind me and just really look forward to actually enjoying all the things that come this year and the challenges and so forth.
Open book almost for 2018.
Yeah, it's funny because last year it was sort of people were expecting things to go in a specific way. Obviously, not much was known with Rafa and Roger's comeback, but people are still expecting Novak and Andy to be running the show. And now this year, everybody's sort of asking what's going to be happening. Yeah. It's been quite interesting. It's been good to be a part of it. Obviously, there's a lot of opportunity out there. You got to play well. You got to compete hard every week, and you got to stay healthy and be on the court as much as possible.
Who were your idols, and who did you ever emulate a player? And talk me through a bit of that.
Pete Sampras was the one I really looked up to. I remember I got to watch him a few times play back when we at the Masters in Toronto. I think it was called the DeMaurier Open back then. Now it's the Rogers Cup. And then I would just watch his videos back then, recorded on VHS, and I would watch it many times over a lot of his matches. I remember the one match I probably watched the most time was that 2000 Wimbledon final against Pat Rafter. Yeah. Would
you say that you emulated him in certain ways of your game, or was it just at such a young age you were just using him as inspiration?
No, I emulated. You know, he taught me sort of the importance of the serve. It's kept him alive in so many matches. It helped him through so many matches, put so much pressure on his opponents. I didn't understand all the complexities then. I just saw that it helped him win. Yeah. And when I was young, I was like, okay, maybe I should spend a lot of time on this. And that sort of led the way, and it paved the way for the best part of my game, the most important part of my game, and I think the most important shot in tennis as well.
Yeah, the opener.
You know, it's not only a way to start the point, sometimes it can be a way to finish it as well.
Yeah. Do you have to maintain it all the time? Is it something that you're just constantly kind of improving your muscles on, or is it, like, how do you have such a big serve and keep it?
I think that one of the best things that one can do is always be trying to not change things up technically, but always be giving his opponent different looks. And I think I practice a lot on it, but I also make sure that throughout different times of the year, obviously depending on the courts, how fast everything is and how much the courts are bouncing, the surface as well, you do different things with the serve. So that way your arsenal just keeps expanding, and also you keep your opponents guessing, because they might have played you 2-3 tournaments ago, and they might say, hey, he really exposed me by using the T-serve well on all the big points, but the next time you come around, you do something different. So I think that can sort of play some insecurity and also put some pressure on the guy, because he's like, okay, if I'm not getting in on his play on his service games, now I got to really take care of mine, and it just sort of has a nice double edge to it where it can affect both ends of the court.
There sounds like there's a lot of strategy in every game that you would play. I mean, is that something that you do with your coaches? You know, have a match strategy, the way that you're going to serve them throughout. Do you have those conversations before most games, or is it just in your head?
Yeah, it's you know, I'm always aware of it. I don't really discuss too much about the way I like to serve with the coaches. It's sort of the one thing that I've always said, hey, I've always, since I've been young, with many different people, like, I've always gotten advice on sort of what I need to do with my serve. I can figure that out. It's the other things that I'd like a little bit more direction with and a little bit more conversation with. But when it comes sort of to the serve, I'm very protective of it. I know technically what I believe I need to do to get the most out of myself, but then also at the same time, just from playing a lot of guys, because I've been on tour many years now, I can sort of get the sense of where I'm most effective and what I need to do. And if it doesn't work in a match, I know just from experience on what other sort of options and strategies to deflect it.
Yeah. When you're in the middle of a tough match and you've got the crowd cheering for you, and then suddenly they might swap and change for your opponent. How do you manage the kind of emotions in a game like that? Is it tough, or is it you're just so focused?
I think you just get so caught up in the moment and what's going on, and you know, sometimes you might get sort of the negative moments dragging on or the good things from a few points before, but rarely do you get caught up in what's going on sort of outside that bubble. Rarely am I aware of what's going on above the sponsor boards. That's sort of your bubble. That's you protect. Everything outside of that is out of your control, and you try to really focus on the things that you can handle. You really have to play against another person who, to some extent, maybe you can influence what they do, but you can't control what they do, and it's hard to try to sort of always be on top of that.
Yeah.
To be focused on things that you have even less control over or less influence over in the crowd, that can be a daunting task if you try to take it on too much.
Yeah, I can imagine if you let it in, then it's going to start to.
There's some moments where it can influence you in a very positive way. It can help you and so forth, but also at the same time, if you become too dependent on it, it can go the other way quickly as well.
How do you stay in love with the game? Is it a passion piece, or because it's partly job and it's part kind of passion?
But
as well.
It doesn't feel like I've worked a single day.
No, that's a good thing.
So that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
But I think also it's the motivations, what you want to get each and every day. Each and every day has to have its own specific goals. It's hard to just go out on the court and hit tennis balls. It's not really that. It's every single day you're trying to work on something. You're trying to be better at something. All those little goals that add up to ultimately the big goals. But there's so many different stages of goals, and you know, if you're always caught up on the big goal, it can be sometimes daunting. You lose the task at hand.
Yeah.
So I think it's important every single day to have those specific things that you're trying to achieve that day. It could be minor things, you know, every day you can't be playing completely better, but as long as you did one or two things a little bit better, you're always going to be on the right track, and it gives you a lot to be positive about.
Yeah. So let's kind of finish up with some questions on New Balance, and obviously you've signed it's a lifetime contract with them, so you must be happy with them as a brand and their apparel. I mean, it looks great. I've tried the shoes. The 996 is an amazing shoe.
Yeah, they've done a great job with it. We've collaborated on a lot of it, and it's always back and forth. They have a great team in place that is really constantly working on not only how to make the stuff look good, how to make it feel good, but also how can we help our athletes, the ones that we work with closely, but also the ones that are the tennis players, the young tennis players that are going out there and purchasing the stuff. It's how can we give them the best product possible that they're going to feel the most comfortable with, and that, you know, they're going to be the happiest with and want to come back and get another pair down the road, or that they'll recommend it to somebody else down the road. It's really a passion project for them, one that I'm grateful to be a part of, and one thing that they take very seriously, and they really don't cut any corners.
The 996, how long have you been wearing that now?
I've been in it now 6 years.
Wow.
So this is going into my 6th year. You know, I haven't wandered from it at all. We've worked so many ways. There's been so many stages of it. I think each sort of version we've always focused on a few things we think could be better, and there's always something you want to really work with, and also different technologies that are coming out that New Balance is coming up with, how to implement them. To which extent, you know, sometimes you don't want to, because it's such a good shoe, you don't want to change it too much.
Yeah.
So you're also trying to always find that balance and really what to add, because whenever you add something, you sort of have to take something away.
Yeah.
So there's always sort of that feel play back and forth where it's the shoe, the new model might come out on January 1st, but that whole process starts 9 to 12 months before.
Exactly.
And for them, it starts even another 12 months before.
That's it. We saw footwear pieces and bits like that 3-4 years in advance, and it's great to see it. So we just arrived. Thanks for taking the time to chat to us this morning.
Thank you guys for joining me on this ride.
Well, it was a pleasure. Good luck on court.
Thank you guys, I appreciate it.
We'll see you again.
We'll see you around.
Okay.
Take care.
Thanks, Milos. That was Milos Raonic, guys. What an epic journey we just had. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you soon.